Welcome back to Moving Abroad 222 Podcast. I'm your guest, Alay Washun. And before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure to like, share, and engage in the comments. Today, we have a very amazing guest, and I would love for her to introduce herself to you guys.
Definitely. So my name is Nicole Rosenberg, otherwise known as Wonderful Abroad. That's the name of my business. Basically, my story is I moved abroad at 27 years old. I broke up with my ex-boyfriend who wanted to get married, and I was like thinking to myself, I just wasn't ready at 27. I need to actually be able to go on my Saturn return to be able to actually know who I am before I'm ready to like settle down and that kind of thing. So as a result, I lived in Thailand, Chiang Mai, Thailand, where Elishan is at, Busan, South Korea during COVID, Mexico City, and then lastly Madrid, Spain.
Love it, love it. So, where are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. So, when did your journey start with being interested in travel? Like, where did that come from?
Definitely. I think the biggest reason why I'm so interested in travel is because my mother. My mother's from Poland and she left Poland to move to Germany and then to the States. So I think because my mom always took us to travel when we were younger, mostly to Poland to visit my family.
Mhm.
I think the love of travel just started to just like begin from there and it just like grew and grew to like me solo traveling and me living abroad. But I really do feel like my mom did plant that seed when I was a baby because my mom told me, "Oh, when you're 1 years old, I got you a passport." I didn't even remember that at all. So I
Oh,
think
wow.
my mom was the one that planted the seed for me, and my brother, and that's why we travel when we can. So I think that's the reason why we're so big on like, moving abroad and like migration. So I think that that's one of the biggest reasons how I started really getting into the travel realm.
I love that. That's so important. I think it's important to take kids out to explore the world.
Mhm.
A lot of kids never get that opportunity. So to be able to experience that so young, that's such a blessing having a passport at one. That's
Yeah.
not really common nowadays, especially from my country. Like Americans, most Americans, they don't have passports, right?
Right. Mhm.
And you know that. Especially as children, like babies, one. So I feel like that was like a jump start for you. That was such an advantage to be able
Yeah.
to experience that at such a young age. I love it.
Mhm. Thank you.
I love that. Okay, so let's go deep into how you got to where you are now. So, what was the first country that you landed in, and how old were you?
Definitely. So in terms of moving abroad at 27 years old, I moved to Chiang Mai, Thailand. I taught English overseas at a private school, but then later on realized I don't want to teach English at all because it just like wasn't for me. So instead I was just like creating my own like tutoring business and I was teaching Chinese families like English on the side because they like looked at me and they're like, "Oh, you're from the United States, like you speak English, like I want to teach my kids like English." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So I had no experience having a business ever in my life. Just worked as an advisor back home and working sales. But I was like, well, why not? Like I could teach English, like it's our native language. So I was just like tutoring kids on the side, tutoring adults, children, like even like little toddlers, like Chinese toddlers. But they were so excited for their kids to learn English. Like it meant the world to them. The kids to learn English, so they can go to like amazing schools. Yeah, so I just started off by teaching English in Chiang Mai. And I think it really changed my life. At 27 to turning 28 years old, I really went on that like Saturn return, which I had no idea what that was until like last year, which I
Mhm.
wish I knew what that was. I'm like, wait, there's a reason why we feel like so changed. Like I felt like my whole entire like mindset just changed. Like I had a whole entire like mindset shift, which we talked about before, and just something just changed like internally and externally in my life where I'm like, I can't go back to the States to live because I don't feel like I belong there anymore. I can't, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely. I feel like, do you feel like you got to that? Because I personally feel like you get to
Yeah.
a point where you outgrow your environment, which a lot of
Yes.
people do, but they don't realize that. Did you feel
Hmm.
like you got to that point where
One
you
thousand
just pretty
percent.
much outgrew your surroundings, your environment, right?
Yeah, I did. Cause I've been in Chicago the last 2 years taking care of my father because I was a caregiver for him. So yes, I felt like when I was there, of course I'm there for my family 1000%. But like being there in Chicago, I'm like, this isn't for me. I came back a week after Spain. I'm like, I can't be here. But again, I was there for family reasons. So
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
Right. Okay, so before you took off, how did you go about your belongings and, being so young
Mhm.
and deciding to go to Thailand, which I think that Thailand is a great first country. I even always say that for myself and for anyone that's starting out on the journey. I feel like Thailand is a great country to start in on your living abroad or traveling journey, because it does give you that sense of peace, that sense of alignment, and like figuring yourself out. I feel like Thailand is a portal. It's a very spiritual land, and it definitely enhances parts and activates parts of you that you never knew
Uh,
was there, right? So what did that look like before you left, being 27, like with your belongings and booking a flight? Like, how did the steps look like leading up to getting on that plane and going to Thailand?
Definitely. So I was working as a college advisor at my old high school, which was interesting. It was like a high school and like university. They're like preparing kids to finish up high school and then go to university. So it was like I
Mhm.
was working there, and I decided like I don't want to continue my contract. I was done, right? So I worked three side jobs, and while I was working those three side jobs, I got my TEFL certificate to teach English. So I was like preparing like those steps, like the practicum, working multiple jobs, saving a little bit of money to move to Thailand. Not a lot of money. My then it was like 3,000 before COVID. Now I think you need more money in that realm because of after COVID things did get a bit more expensive, which I'm sure you see
Right,
too as well. But yeah,
right.
I would just say I was just like taking the steps. I was like telling myself like this is where I want to go. Then from there on, I was just like really just taking it one day at a time, making money, saving money. I stopped spending money on coffee. It was a waste of money for me. I stopped spending money on like tangible items like buying clothes. I'm like, I don't need that. I have enough clothes in my closet to last for days and months. So I decided just to like get rid of the clothes I don't need through Poshmark, going to like thrift shops, just getting rid of all these clothes I haven't worn in so many years. They don't fit me. And also I like use storage too as well, but it actually got really expensive. So I actually put a lot of my stuff in my aunt's place and my mom's place. They had like a
Mhm.
little like storage area, I think luckily like at their place. And I was just like really just like I was just a minimalist. I just stopped spending money on things that did not bring me any more value in my life. Like I'm like, I don't wanna go to Starbucks and spend $7 where I know like the coffee sucks. It's low quality. It's not good for you in the first place. And I don't know what's the chemicals in the coffee. I'd rather go to like Turkey and have like better coffee or like go to like Morocco and have like real coffee or like anywhere in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I just stopped spending money on things that were like less of value, and I stopped spending money like on makeup and like clothes because I was like, this is not really helping me save money to move abroad. Like I'm just wasting that money. And it's just like I'm just able to like get distracted by like this the tangible things. So I just stopped spending money. I just paid for my rent and I moved at home to save money too, which was a really big help for myself. And I just really prioritized like, hey, I want to move abroad. I got 8 months to do it. I gotta go. Despite all the inner voices, I said, fuck them. I'm going. That's it.
I love that.
Thank you.
Minimalist and cutting out those voices,
Hmm.
minimizing. And I think that everyone that's watching, I think you should really take that into consideration.
Yep.
The fact that you spoke about minimizing, because I
Hmm.
think that as Americans naturally we have so much stuff, so much
Yeah.
shit, right? And we don't need those things, and as we live longer and as we go outside of our environments and explore the world, we'll start to realize that there are people outside of America that has less stuff
Yeah.
than we have, and they are happy, they are
Yeah.
fulfilled, they are content, they have something that many people don't have, right? Which is a peace of mind.
Yeah.
So I love that you put emphasis on the fact that you became a minimalist. And for
Mhm.
anybody that's wondering, what should I do? What steps can I take to start? Become a minimalist.
Yeah.
Size down. Throw the things away that you know you don't need and stop spending on things that you know you don't need. So, Thailand, this being your first country living abroad as
Mhm.
a 27-year-old woman, what did that look like? What did that feel like mentally? Because you did this at a time where, moving abroad has been a thing for a long time, but it wasn't as big on social media.
Mhm.
It was, but it wasn't. So
Yeah.
you were doing this at a time where it wasn't like as highlighted as it is now. So
Mhm.
how did you process things? How did you maneuver through your experiences in Thailand, that being your first country abroad?
Definitely. So I think the biggest thing is before I moved to Thailand, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and I came across I came across like this video. They're from the Vega brothers and they actually like moved to Spain and they lived in different countries and they were just showcasing the life overseas, how to be able to travel, how to be able to save money while traveling, etc. So I just became super intrigued by like watching them and like watching their videos nonstop. I was like, I want to do this because at the time I was 27, not married yet, no kids yet. I'm like, I have really nothing that's like preventing me from going now. Like I broke up with my ex-boyfriend who wanted to get married to me. So I'm like, I feel like all the cards are just like there on the table. I have people just to be able to like, go towards that path, you know? So I watched those videos every single day to really inspire myself. They had to really be able to inspire me. And then just from there on, I went to Thailand and I was like, okay, I made this plan. And every single day I just was just like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna see like how this day is. And I also believe in the universe too as well. Not so much back then, more so now, but I was always like, listen, everything in life happens for a reason. There's a reason why I didn't like really work well at the school because I'm meant to work for myself. And I kind of had that
Right.
realization like now more in my 30s and then like more in my late 20s. So I just feel like for me, I was just like writing down everything. But writing down everything is like not gonna really help you. It's just like more so just like taking it one step at a time. It's like you have a whole entire like, cake, right? It's like, okay, let me be able to like cut the cake one slice at a time and be like, listen, I just got to Thailand. I have like, my Airbnb. I got to do the whole entire visa process. So like I just took it one step at a time. I didn't overwhelm myself too much because I was like, look, I'm brand new to this whole entire process. Like I'm going to learn through every single mistake, every single error. I didn't learn Thai, at home. I didn't speak Thai at home and neither did you. So it's like you just got to give yourself a break because like you're doing the best you can in this life, you know? If you make a mistake, great, you're learning because every single day we're making mistakes. I make a million mistakes, but I'm so proud of my mistakes because I'm able to learn from them and become better every single day. So I just gave myself a lot of slack. I'm like, listen, I make a mistake, great. And I'm learning every single day. So I don't really want to put too much pressure, on a person who like wants to think about moving abroad or living overseas.
I love that. I love that because I think that people think that you have to have it all figured out.
Yep.
But it's
No.
like you're gonna change your mind a million times. Just like when I got here, I thought that I was
Mhm.
gonna stay in Thailand forever. And coming here made me realize I love it here, but this is not my forever place. It
Yep.
made me want to explore more.
Hmm.
So that's the thing. People have to realize that you're not going to have it all figured out when you do have to show yourself grace. I love that you touched on that because
Yeah.
it's important for people to know just flow. Go with your day by day experience. Pick up
Hmm.
the things that you can pick up, release what doesn't resonate, and just allow yourself to. You're in a whole completely different place. I mean, like,
Exactly.
you've been living in your native country all your life. Then you
Yep.
just up and come somewhere for 6 months to a year. That's not going to be easy. That's
Hmm.
literally a big, big, big transformation, like a big transition as well.
Yep.
So I love that. So for living abroad and traveling abroad, what would you recommend for like health insurance? If anyone is wondering about health insurance and maybe you could share your personal experience with your choices.
Definitely. For health insurance, the school did provide the health insurance. So I was like very lucky. But typically, when I do like go overseas, when I was working at schools as an English teacher, all the schools did offer health insurance, like in Thailand, South Korea, Mexico, and Spain. But now I have my own health insurance. I use Cigna. I think it's incredible. I have like their like, private health insurance because I work for myself online, obviously, as a move abroad relocation consultant and move abroad mindset coach. So I would just say, like, I think Cigna's great. Cigna's amazing. Sanitas. And there's another website too as well. I know they do like a lot when it comes down to like helping people like get their health insurance to be able to make sure like, they're secured, their family's secured, their kids are secured, their partner's secured. So I think that's really important to make sure that you have health insurance when you are overseas. It's super, super important. I highly stress
Yeah.
that as well. But health insurance, it's gonna be quite difficult and they won't be able to give you that visa too as well. Like for example, my clients in Spain, they're teaching English right now, but before they move to Spain, Spain wants to make sure at least have some kind of health coverage before the school does actually offer you like coverage. So they got like Sanita, Cigna, and whatnot. Oh, another one too. I think it's called Safety Wing. Safety Wing is a really great website in order to be able to get amazing health coverage too, as well for you and the family.
Yeah, Safety Wing was pretty good. Okay,
Hmm.
so for anybody's listening, Cigna, Safety Wing, look into those. You
Yep.
can use those so that you can get some travel insurance if needed, right? It's an
Yes.
option.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so could you go into a business and work life balance abroad? Because everyone always wants to know about money. They're always
Yep.
asking, how do you guys make money abroad? How do you
Yep.
manage? So I know that there was like a process throughout how you were like working and
Mhm.
then entrepreneurship. So could you give us insight on what that looked like for you?
Definitely, of course. So I started off by teaching English overseas at a school, and then from there on, I transitioned to like teaching English online. And then I got out of the teaching realm after I got my master's because I got my master's in global higher education. Last year, I worked in study abroad. So I helped students do a gap year abroad and study overseas. I helped with the whole entire visa process, student visa process, programs, visa, like everything you could imagine. I help them go from the States to whatever country they desire to get a bachelor's and master's overseas. So I worked remotely, which is super cool. I was able to balance my day. During the day, I was able to relax, go to the gym, and then starting at like 2 or 3 EST, I would just like work for the company. But since I don't work for those companies anymore, I work for myself. So I think the biggest thing, I'll say two things. Number one, when I got my master's, I was working as an English teacher assistant at a school. I did tutoring in person at people's houses, and I worked for a travel based company and did my master's. So I had a lot going on like during that year, but I was able to manage it pretty well because I was able to use my scheduler, my organizer. I used like my little like sticky notes of like what to do for the day for each job. And I was able to manage a lot. Even though it was very overwhelming, I was still able to manage the best, ability I could. But I would
Right.
say now for my business, I do work, with American clients. So I'll base in like EST, PST, CST, MST time zone. So typically I'm in Chicago. It's easy. Like I can work with the time zones, but I'm in Bali. So I'm like working overnight, which is something I'm okay with. Like that's just how it is. I can't change that, but I'm able to manage it because during the day I can go to the gym, I can get a nice massage for like $9, which is super nice. And it's really great. I think the most important thing is like if you want to do that, you'll make it happen, right? I'm a big proponent when it comes down to like not making excuses for my life. Like I believe like if you want to do something, despite the fact that I grew up in poverty, I didn't grow up with money. I grew up, like pretty poor, worked at 17 years old to 4 o'clock in the morning at a pizzeria. Like it's like I always had to be able to make money and save money no matter what. And I learned at a very
Mm.
young age of 17 years old. So I think maybe like my background, like being poor and just like working my ass off and just saving money really does come into play for what I'm doing right now. But I just
Mm.
say, like, listen, there's no excuses in this life. There's no excuses at all. I think excuses are like very much a weak mindset. So I believe if you want something, you got to make sure and you go and get it. There's no doubt about it in this life.
That's a fact. I love that.
Mhm.
Would you
Yep.
say that would you say that this journey demanded you to have something of your own as far as ownership and you going into
Mhm.
entrepreneurship? Because I feel as though I always tell people, even, on my live streams or my consultations or just anything, my one on ones, that you have to get into the mindset that eventually you are going to shift into an entrepreneur
Correct.
because you're no longer thinking like a consumer because you're not living like one, right?
Mhm.
So once you come out of that energy of consumption, you then realize that you have to create something for yourself.
Right.
And this is when the opportunities start showing up where it's like, hey, got to start a business. So would you
Yes.
say that the journey demanded you to eventually come into that sense of ownership and having something of your own?
I think so. And I think it all started off with during COVID. Because during COVID, I moved to South Korea and everyone's like, well, how the fuck, sorry, my language, how the
No,
heck were
you're
you able to like move from the States to like overseas? Like, how are you doing this? That's impossible. Like, no, my friend, nothing's impossible in this life. I believe the word possible is in impossible, you know? So I was like, no, it's possible. Like I was able to move to South Korea and I like posted my stories. my posts and they're like, wow, I want to move to Korea, China, Japan, Bali. How did you do it? So I had a lot of calls, but I did for free, right? Because I was like helping people for free. Then I realized after some years, I'm like, wait a second, I have all this like amazing advice and I gave help people move abroad for free for so many years. Why not like make it a business, right? So after I got laid off on December 12th, 12, angel number, which meant to me the universe said, Nicole, you're done working for people. End of cycles, you're done. That's it. You are not
Yep.
working for anybody anymore. At 33 years old, I had a spiritual awakening. I am not working for anybody ever in my life. It does not work out well for me in the first place. So I was like, no. So then from there on, at 33, yeah, I started my business. And now as we speak, I help people move overseas. I focus on helping them budget to save money to move abroad, visa process, translation between English and Spanish, apartments, dating, making friends, etc. The whole entire moving aspects and moving pieces you need before you want to move abroad. So I focus on every single thing because I went through it myself 4 different times, you know? And I just like want to make sure that people feel that they're able to be confident and they have clarity and they're enthusiastic, not scared, not nervous, not overwhelmed. So
Right.
yes, it's very, very
Right.
important to make sure that you have that mindset, like, yeah, I'm ready to move abroad. Not like I'm so scared to move
Mhm.
abroad. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my God, what about my apartment, my housing, just everything. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
so if someone was to come to you or book a
Mhm.
one-on-one and they're like, I need to know how to start this journey. Where should I start? What steps and advice would you give that person?
Definitely. I want to focus on fear. That's the most important thing. They have a lot of fear and it makes sense. I mean, I was very fearful too as well before I moved abroad. So I
Hmm.
focused on like what is causing you the most amount of fear? Oh, I don't know. I'm scared to find a job. Okay. That's pretty valid. Okay, great. And also ask them like, do you feel like your values right now are aligned in living in the United States? No, absolutely not. I want to make sure these people are not escaping because of Trump. I want to make sure that they actually want people to move abroad for like reasons to be able to expand their life for, you know, cultural connectivity. They want to learn new language. They want better opportunities. They want to take their kids overseas, show them different cultures, different languages, different customs, and they want a better quality of life. They're sick and tired of living in the United States and the survival mindset. So I want to be able to show them, hey, listen, you can be able to not survive anymore, be able to thrive, you know, with the help of me because I've done it and I lived abroad and I'm moving to Spain and back to Spain in 2 months. But I just really take like my lived experiences and teach them like, hey, this is what I've done. This is how to be able to help you. Let's talk about different options based on like, you know, your CV. What are you looking for? Do you want to teach English overseas? Do you want to work remotely? Do you want to buy property? Do you want to do a
Hmm.
sabbatical? Do you want to do a bachelor's, master's? So I took all my lived experiences, my work experiences, working and study abroad, and I help people learn how to move abroad with confidence, clarity, and I'm just encouraging them every step of the way and mentoring them too as well.
I love that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so could you give us three culture shocks, maybe two or three? It's up to you, and tell us how you overcame them.
Definitely. So I think the biggest culture shock for me is like when I first got to the airport in Chiang Mai, I was just like expecting just to like, you know, go in the regular like seats, like the passenger seat or whatever. And I'm like, wait, why the people are like driving on the other side? Like I didn't understand. So yes, I understood that obviously after after my whole entire culture shock and jet lag. So that was something I got used to, you know, shortly after. Another thing too, as well, is like I expected people to like speak to me in English in Thailand, and I realized no, not every single person's going to speak English in Thailand, Korea, Japan, etc. So I started learning the language, not fluently, but like trying to get by. Like I learned how to say "sawadee ka," "kun sabay di mai," "sabay di ka," "kampun ka," "chanchu Nicole ka," and then "tauroy ka," like how much does it cost? I don't know how the
Hmm.
hell I still remember that after 6 years. It's crazy. But yes, I remember that from 6 years ago. So in a way, I did learn how to be able to like say basic phrases in order to get by so I don't feel like an idiot. I'm like, well, I'm a little bit stuck here. What do I say? They're looking at me. I'm looking at them. How much is it? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like just come off like just always being frustrated all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yes, I did learn like the phrases, how to be able to get by, not fluently, but at least be able to like communicate. And I would say that too as well.
Hmm.
And number three, Learning Spanish is literally been able to change my life because learning Spanish also helps me if I want to go travel to like Peru, Colombia. If I want to like go to like back to like to Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, like I feel like learning Spanish is such a game changer because you're also able to connect with the people from the culture, dance with people, learn more about like the history, the culture, the food, and I love it. And I love connecting in Spanish. Yep.
I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know a little Spanish, not fluently.
Mhm.
I definitely need to learn for my next adventure.
Yeah,
But
you
I
will.
realized that different Spanish speaking countries, they all speak different kinds of Spanish. What's so
They do.
interesting is that they all kind of create their own language within their language, which I think is
Yes,
pretty fucking creative.
exactly.
But I realized that they do that in Southeast Asia as well. And a lot of countries do that. So that's like a
Mhm.
thing, creating their own language within their language. Okay, so
Yep,
out of all the countries that you've lived in abroad, which would you say is your favorite and why?
I knew it. I had a feeling. For me, 1000% Spain because I feel like with the Spanish culture, they're very like open. They love talking. They love socializing. Sometimes I feel like my social battery is very low there because they just keep
Mm,
going and going and going. And the Spaniards, they don't stop. They love to socialize. They love drinking their wine. They love eating. So it's actually really interesting. It's called sobremesa. And so when you finish eating, you just sit at the table and you just continue to talk. So the first time I was invited to a sobremesa, so just a little like context clue. So mesa is like a table in Spanish. Sobre is like about or on. So it's like on table, which is really weird in English, but whatever, right? So sobremesa, it's like you just stay at the table and you're just talking for 2 hours. And I'm like, fuck, what am I supposed to be able to talk for 2 hours? Like I'm already done talking. I'm already tired
right.
as it is. But they love socializing, they love drinking, they love just like gossiping as well. And it's just fun. It's a really cool experience. And I recommend if you ever like want to like go to like South America, Spain as a whole, or Central America, I think it's really cool to be able to like have that type of experience and be around like Spanish speaking people and like learn from there. And like, I think it's amazing, honestly. So I really love the culture. I think they're super open. And I love the fact they just like, they don't like work to live. They like, no, they don't like live to work. They work to live. Like they have a work life balance. When they finish up work,
Mm,
they'll go to the bar, they'll drink, and they'll probably like go for some food at night and drink wine. It's a very like nice, classy feeling, which I really like, It's like a world class feeling. And I just really respect the Spaniards. Like I really respect like their culture. They just like basically live in the moment, right? They're not worried about the future too much. Like, okay, well, today's today. I have to go to work and I'll figure out what else happens. They're very spontaneous and they're just super chill and tranquil lifestyle. And I love it and I respect it. Because I come from a hustle bustle culture and you did too as well, where it's like, I
exactly.
can't imagine having plans like spontaneously. My friends are like, no, let's plan, let's go get a coffee. Do you know what time, what place? Make sure you're on time. I was like, I'm always late now because like living in Spain and Mexico. So I'm like, guys, I'm like, let's just chill. They're like, no, we have to know the time, the place, and it's just like very like straightforward. I'm like, I don't care. Let's just go for a cup of coffee and then figure out whatever happens. But
Mm.
I think I've definitely adopted the Spanish lifestyle after living there and Mexico too as well.
I hear really great things about Spain, so I'm excited to
Yeah,
explore when I come to Europe. Definitely
definitely.
on my list. I'm looking forward to that. I've always
Mhm.
had this deep connection to the Spanish culture. And
Yep.
it was so funny because a lot of people expected me to probably come to like a Spanish country first.
Uh
But
huh.
I felt guided to come to an Asian country, obviously. But I'm like, don't get it twisted. I'm coming. I'm definitely going because my best friend is she's Dominican. And
Okay.
then a best friend from high school was Mexican. So I've always had this deep
Nice.
love and passion for the Spanish culture and the people. So I'm definitely
Mhm.
excited. I'm listening to you and hearing you because I always hear, especially people that I've had as a guest on the show that are in Spain, they always speak so highly of the community, the food, the
Yeah.
people, the
Right.
scenery. And I'm like, I need to come explore that and experience that for myself.
You
So
do.
I love that for you. I love that.
Yeah.
you're able to find a sense of home away from home, because a lot of people, they
Hmm.
want to travel all over, that's fine, but you eventually you want to find that place where you can say, this is my place, this is my
Definitely.
spot, I really love it here.
Yeah.
So I love that, I love that for you. Okay, so
Yep.
give us, because I always want to like unpack the cons, give us some
Hmm.
cons of living abroad and how to turn those cons into
Yeah.
transformation and not really letting them impact you in a negative way.
1000%. I think the biggest thing is like trying to figure out who you are, right? Because I feel like if you have like a different
Mm,
identity, right? I'm always just about like I'm also just like, thinking things like more like in an internal like aspect. So I feel like
mhm.
in a way, my mom is from Poland, my dad was American. So I grew up with like two different cultures. Polish culture at my mom's place, and then my dad just like spoke English with the American family. And then I'm like in Spain, I'm like, then I'm speaking Spanish. So everyone's just like, well, where are you from? I'm like, listen, I'm from Chicago. I have Polish roots and Polish nationality through my mother, who is from Poland. But again, like I feel so at home in Spain. And it's hard to be able to explain to people who I am. But again, why should I explain who I am? Like I know who I am, through a lot of reinvention. Reinvention is the biggest thing too as well.
Mm,
Reinventing yourself multiple times, able to really figure out who you are. And I think every single country gives like a different version of ourselves. Like I think Thailand is super chill, it's very spiritual. So it's like that spiritual aspect, Buddhism, like you are obviously meditating, like you're really just like taking care of like your mental health and your spiritual like sense, I would say. South
yes.
Korea for me was more of a hustle. Yes, the more hustle bustle. I had to work a lot. Also, Koreans are amazing people, but they work, work, work like Americans. They're like
Mm,
working dogs. Mexico is all about connection, like Spain. People are so friendly, so humble, so nice, just so open. Spain is more like a world class, well, Spain as a whole is like a world class like country. Amazing, like, architecture, history, influences, different dialects. Like, it's incredible. I really feel like, being in Spain as a whole, like, you just learn a lot about like the history, the different dialects being spoken. They have 5 different dialects being spoken, the food, just like everything, just like how like Spain has become. And I just like don't want to like let like, my background or where I came from be able to influence who I am today. I think it's more so like my lived experiences and the audacity and risk to leave the United States to be able to make this kind of life overseas.
mhm.
That's what I believe.
I love it. And I I actually can agree with that on so many levels, because I feel like that is what
Hmm.
you're figuring out. You're figuring out who you truly are, and you're incorporating
Yep.
what you were raised to be based off that culture in that
Yep.
environment to what you are coming
Hmm.
in now, which
Yep.
is obviously going to be a different culture, a different environment. And you have to somehow
Yep.
figure out the two. You have to dissolve what no longer resonates and walk in and align with what
Yep.
the present is. Like, what's more fitting for you in that
Yep.
moment. And that's what I love about this
Hmm.
journey. Like it's so magical to me. I really truly feel like it's very, it's not just logistics like passports and figuring out where you want to go and cheaper living, which people put a lot of emphasis on it. And I'm like, there's so much more to this journey than the actual physical part. For me, it's more like inner.
Yep.
And those are a lot of the things that you're touching on where I can relate and I can agree on, because I feel like people really figure that out. Even if you don't start with that motive to kind of find yourself,
Yeah.
you'll eventually find yourself and you'll feel so fulfilled, you know?
Yep.
So I
Definitely. And
love
I also
that.
want to say something too. I feel like for
Mhm.
me, oh, thank you. I feel like for me at first, it was like more like traveling, like, oh, I get to travel, I get to like go here.
Mm,
But then, like, I think once like I hit like my early 30s, because I'm 34 now, I think at like 30, I figure it out. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm like, I lived in Mexico. I'm like, I really love Mexican culture. I love the language. And I started telling myself, I'm like, I don't want to live in English speaking country. I want to live in the United States, Australia, New Zealand, England, because I want to live in a Spanish speaking country so I can really connect with the culture and really improve my Spanish. So just like something just changed in me. I'm like, whoa, I feel really like happy here, connected, excited, just like it's stimulating. It's a very stimulating experience overall, I would say.
very stimulating.
Mhm.
Yes, definitely. It really is. It really
Yep.
is. Okay, so could you give us some mindset shifts that you realize you had to
Mhm.
take or that you experience in this journey?
Definitely. So I think the biggest thing is when I first moved abroad, I did kind of come up like with this like kind of proud, like egotistic American mentality, which obviously was like never my intention in the first place, but I was really young. And number two, I felt like I wasn't really developed just yet in terms of my identity wise. So I just tell people like when you want to move abroad, like do not take like that American like mentality thinking like, you're the best, your country's the best, because no, like honestly, every single country is like, in its own way, it's equal to its own way. And I feel like if you do that, you come off as like very like number one, arrogant, very narcissistic, and very ignorant. And they don't really want like people who are gonna come with like a very negative mentality. Where like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm from Canada, or I'm from the United States, or I'm from Argentina, whatever, right? People don't like that. That's negative energy because you feel like you're better than other people. So
Mhm.
for me, when I'm overseas, like I'm in Indonesia right now, I'm like, no, I'm just who I am. I'm here to explore. I'm here to heal. I'm here to meditate. I'm not here to tell you I'm better than you because I'm not better than you at all in any way, shape, or form. I am who I am, and you are who you are, and that's final. My mom always taught me to be humble, and be proud of where you came from, you know? And I think in a way, like I have this kind of like daughter of an immigrant mentality because my mom raised me, and she sacrificed everything to come to the States from Poland during Soviet Union. So in a way, it's like I saw what my mother did and she sacrificed everything for me, my brother. So I'm very appreciative of what my mother did for me, 1000%. So I think the biggest thing is like, no, the upbringing. And I think another thing too is just like, yeah, just having a different mindset, right? It's like I don't want you like, come in when you're moving abroad with like fear and like hesitation. And be able to really be able to build that mindset like through confidence, through meditation, through yoga, and really just changing the mindset using positive affirmations.
Mhm.
I'm really big on like Mel Robbins. I love Mel Robbins. She says, well, if it all works out and your best, most fulfilled days are ahead of you 1000%. So I think the most important thing is just taking those affirmations and just taking them home. Be like, okay, listen, like I'm scared. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but listen, I'm gonna take it one day at a time, poco a poco, and I'm gonna get there. And I'm gonna get to my destination. Just gotta give me some time. There will be some bumps down the road. That's normal. That's life, right? But don't let those bumps become like the whole entire like detour. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't let it become the whole entire detour. I love that. I hope that everyone who's
Yeah.
watching is
Hmm.
taking mental notes of that because that's powerful. Like not
Yeah.
allowing your
Hmm.
circumstances to shape the whole experience and to take away from the fact
Correct.
that there are some good moments in there. It's just that this may be overbearing right now. So you may feel like this is like
Yes.
terrorizing you, like, oh my God, I'm having the worst experience. But it's like when the smoke clears, honey, it gets good. It gets good.
Watch.
Okay. It definitely gets
Hmm.
good. Okay.
It
So what
does.
would you say is the most
Yep.
exciting thing of living abroad? What is the most impactful, cherishing aspects of this life that you would say that has changed you for the better?
Yeah, I think it's the people. I think I'm meeting people who have a very similar mentality as me is very, very important. Like I can tell people have like this like different mentality because they left their comfort zone. They've reinvented themselves multiple times, whether it's living in one country or they're like digital nomads or they're going from one country to another country by country hopping. Whatever they're gonna do, it's fine. Like I resonate people who actually was able to reinvent their life. I think that's very, very important to me. It's like it's empowerment. It's really just like it's a very like powerful feeling, be able to reinvent your life like once, twice, three times, whatever, right? Because it shows that you have audacity and you could take risk in this life because this life is not for safe people. And I don't want to live like a life full of like just comfort because I'd rather just like choose, like courage over comfort in my life because comfort is safe. Comfort's like not being able to really show who you are. Because I feel like comfort's just like, okay, cool, I'm comfortable, but I'm bored. And then you
Mhm.
wonder why you're miserable. Then you wonder why, like, you want something, that fire in your soul, because you have not been able to really leave the comfort zone behind. And it's hard and it's scary. And and I know it too as well. But look, I would rather people leave my comfort zone and know who I am truly and my soul, my heart, and everything in my inner chakras too as well, than be able to live a comfortable lifestyle where I'm miserable. And I know I'm miserable because I felt that way before I moved abroad. I felt like, wow, I feel like bored as hell in my life. Like I needed a change in my life. And that's why I decided to move abroad, because I was just so sick and tired of the same 9 to 5, same bars, same people, same clubs, because I was like always going out, same everything. I'm like, no, I need a change. And that's when I told myself, I had a mental breakdown. I'm like, I need more to life than my 9 to 5, which is killing my soul. And that's it. I moved abroad.
I love it.
Yep.
I love how you can tell that this journey has truly changed you for the better. I can feel it. I can see
Correct.
it. And you started out completely different than where you are now. Like I can tell
Correct.
that it has been really impactful for you. Okay,
Yep.
so my next question that I
Mhm.
want to ask you is, if someone wanted to know what will be a great starter country for their journey, what country would you recommend?
So I recommend, honestly, like if you already have like the basic knowledge of like the language of like the country you want to go to, like let's say like you speak Spanish or French or whatever, then obviously like you'd go to like Canada, like different provinces in Canada that speak French, or France as a whole. But I feel like if you know the language, it's a lot easier to be able to like just get yourself adjusted. If not, I recommend, honestly, Indonesia is amazing. I've been here the last 3 weeks. I meet people from all over the globe, from Lithuania, Russia, Poland, the States, Canada, etc. Like people always tell me Bali's for Americans. It's not. There are Americans here, like you and I, but people from like all over the globe. I met people from like from Kenya, from Cameroon. It's amazing, you know. I think it's a really cool place. I think it's amazing. People do speak a lot of English here. You also like learn Indonesian if you wanted to, but it's really good because everyone here is all about building, especially when you go to Canggu. Everyone's about like building their businesses. They want to be able to really grow, or they already have businesses as it is. It's really good for like people who are like inspired to become entrepreneurs, or they want people to grow as an entrepreneur. They want to level up and become like their best, higher version of themselves. So I really think Indonesia's great. Thailand as well. We both live in Thailand. I lived in Thailand. Um, Mexico's amazing, very close to the States. You also can learn
Mhm.
Spanish too as well. One of the easiest, I think for me, the easiest like country to learn Spanish is Mexico. It's an easier way to be able to learn the language. They don't speak as fast. And Spain is really good too as well. Like there's a lot of great countries for sure. It's all about number one, your personality. What really resonates with you. Like if you're open, you can go to Argentina, go to Uruguay, you go to like Colombia, you go to Mexico. If you're more closed off, you go to Norway, you go to Sweden, you go to Switzerland, etc. Right? More like your personality. That's the most important thing too, as well. And also, like, what are you looking for? Like, what do you want? Do you want to like, go teach English? Do you like want to buy property? Like, what are you really wanting? And I also like talk about people's like values too, as well. Like, what are your morals? What are your values? And then also like, where do you see yourself? Like in terms of just like who you are as a person. What do you connect the most with? And that's it.
I love that. I love
Yep.
that. I
More internal.
appreciate Yeah, I appreciate all your knowledge and your information because I feel like it's very useful and people should
Mhm.
really acknowledge what this journey really consists of. I
Correct.
think that online is romanticized a lot. And I
Hmm.
think that a lot of people start with these expectations and then end up in a total different situation than what they thought they would be because
Yep.
of the fact that this journey literally mirrors what's going on internally. So
Yep.
it's like you said, it's not good to leave with fear. It's not good to start because you have planted those seeds. So now all your experiences are gonna be, manifestations of that. And I feel like it's very important that we touch on, mindset and that we touch on the inner world and, things of that sort. Okay, so tell
Definitely.
us what does a day look like for you sustaining your mental health living abroad? What's the best way that you ground when you're living abroad just to keep yourself mentally stable and grounded?
Definitely. So I definitely do this for the last 5 years. It's been very helpful. So when I wake up in the morning, I have a gratitude journal and I write down every single thing I'm grateful for. Friends, family, water, food, my job, my education, whatever, right? Whatever I have, it's like I feel very grateful for, because I grew up again very poor. without many resources, but I learned just by working hard for them and be able to go after every single thing I wanted from 18 years old to now at 34 years old. So my gratitude journal is amazing. And I call family as well to see how they're doing, depending on the time difference, right? Then I go to the gym. I love going to like yoga, Pilates to the gym. I also like love going for like walks. Like I'm really able to like reflect and like think a lot. So it really feels nice to be able to think about what's been going on internally. I want to just like release that. It's really important to release like those feelings, those negative feelings you may have. And then from there on I go to the gym, then I start my day. So that's why. But I'm really big on to going to the gym. Also, listening to Mel Robbins every single day has made a huge, huge improvement in my mood and my attitude and just overall like my well-being, my vibe. So yes, I really love Mel Robbins. I love Jay Shetty. I just like love listening to like motivational speakers in the morning. And
Mhm.
also I recommend every single morning. I listen to guided meditation for 10 minutes. So the best way is to be able to wake up. Like I just sit down in bed or I just sit up in bed and I listen to guided meditation. It really helps me be able to like take it easy, take a few deep breaths. I'm like, hey, listen, today, I don't know what this day is going to consist of, but let the universe do its magic. And that's it.
Yes, I love the guided meditations. I'm actually gonna do one when we're finished. I'm gonna turn it on and go right to sleep. I'm so
Amazing.
excited. I can't wait. It's the best. It's the
I
best.
know.
It truly
It
does
is.
help, especially starting in the middle and ending your day. So I
Correct.
think that those tips were really good. And of course, I love the gym. I'm obsessed.
Yep.
So I think that those were really good tips. And I think that anybody that's watching should definitely consider that. If you are living
Mhm.
abroad, you should have a routine. Not saying that you have to do what we're saying. Maybe you're not into the gym, maybe you're not into meditation, but
Mhm.
find what works for you and what can ground you. Or you
Definitely.
can use these tips and try these tips and things to do to stay grounded on your journey.
Definitely.
Wow,
I
thank
do
you.
I do want to say one thing as well. I think a lot of people
Mhm.
are really worried about like making friends and meeting people. I think honestly for me the best way to meet people is like I go to like language exchanges and like different events through like Meetup and Instagram and just like always something going on, like in the city I was living in. So they're always worried about like, oh, how can I make my friends? My friends are back home. No, you can make friends 1000%. All my good friends are living overseas as we speak and in Chicago. So you can meet friends. There's so many events to meet people. Just like put yourself out there, introduce yourself in a Facebook group, like, hey, my name is Nicole, etc. I like to go to yoga. Hey, I'm going to yoga tomorrow. Do you want to come? People are like, yeah, I'd love to come. Where are you going to? Boom, that's it. We put yourself out there. The universe helps you be able to attract what you want as a magnet in life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because having community does help the journey.
Mhm.
It can help create a more life of ease.
Correct.
And comfort, because you will
Yep.
have people that are relatable, that you could connect to, that you can call
Mhm.
on. You're not just
Yep.
by yourself. And these people become friends and family outside of friends and family back home. And it feels good
Yep.
to be able to create that sense of community
Mhm.
on your journey.
Definitely.
So I truly appreciate you taking the time to
Of course.
jump on again with me today. Could you please tell us where we can find you? Give us your tags, your links for your social medias, and also your website information so they can know where to find you.
Yeah, definitely. So I just like use like TikTok as well. My Instagram is wonderful underscore abroad at 1023. That's my birthday. And then also my website is www.wonderfulabroad.net. But I'll send you everything. So yeah, that's the best way to find me. I do free 30-minute calls. Also, actually, after the calls, I send over a list of remote work for jobs related to like the people's CVs. So I have a lot of resources on how to find remote work, part time, full time, you name it, I have it. There you go.
Yeah, so for anyone's watching, all of
Mhm.
the links are in the description. They are
Perfect.
there. Click the description. When you read the drop down, all of the links are there so you can know where to find Nicole so that you can connect with her. If
Mhm.
this episode interests you and resonated with your soul. At the end of the day, my goal for this whole podcast and my community moving abroad 222 is to connect with like-minded souls like Nicole and other
Mhm.
entrepreneurs and influencers that are helping people move abroad, okay, and not only move abroad but have a successful journey, to have a
Mhm.
journey of ease, to have a journey that's not hard, right? Just having that existence and that support, it makes it all so much better. So
Mhm.
thank you for
Of
coming
course.
on today, taking the
Thank you
time
so
to
much.
chat. I truly appreciate your energy. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I really appreciate it too as well. It's been amazing be able to just like share the journey. I mean, of course it's difficult. You know how it is as well, but also it's so rewarding at the end of the day because you're like, hey, I am in peace in my life. You know, I feel at peace. I can walk around. I have my kids. They're playing. They feel at peace too as well. And there's no toxicity, no negativity. It's like your
Yes.
body feels at peace. Like you just feel it here, here, and everywhere. There you
And
go.
everywhere. And that's
And
exactly
everywhere.
where I am. I resonate with that. That's how I
Yep.
feel. That's definitely how I feel. Feel more grounded, more lighter. And like I said, this is a magical journey.
It
Every
is.
day I wake up, I feel like, wow, this is so magical. Like, what's
Mhm.
next? It's like an adventure. So,
It is.
definitely exciting. So, thank you so much for
Of
watching,
course.
everyone who is viewing this video. Make sure you connect with Nicole and follow her on
Mhm.
her platforms. Check out her website and book that one on one with her if you are interested in connecting with her and learning some of her knowledge and getting some wisdom from her as far as for this journey and some coaching. Okay.
Mhm.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and we will be back next Thursday with a new episode, new guests, new energy. See you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.
Thanks for
Thank you.
watching.